Downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit. Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Between civil unrest and rising gun violence, how thinly stretched is the Detroit Police Department? We're hearing from the chief. Hank.
Bills, they're piling up for so many of you right now. So what can you do to protect your money? We have important information from financial experts coming up in my Help Me Hank report.
Also, a driver who survived being shot at on the Southfield Freeway, talking to the local 4 defenders about what happened. Good to have you with us at 6. That chaos started with a motorcycle accident on the Southfield near Joy.
A group of bikers apparently tried to shut the freeway down on their own to protect a rider who'd gone down. But when a Detroit man tried to drive past the scene, tensions flared and shots were fired.
Let's get to local 4 defender Sean Lay, who spoke with the man behind the wheel. These had to be some awfully frightening moments for him, Sean.
Well, he's only 19, and guys, he was only 2 minutes away from his home. And look, from his perspective, he saw people, not police, trying to shut the freeway down all across the Southfield Freeway. MSP says they got reports that many of the people on the freeway were armed. MSP says this 19-year-old had a clear and safe path to go around the people and get away from them. That's when one walked up to him and started opening fire on his car.
I am happy to be alive. Usually people don't survive incidents like this.
Take a look at Dejaneer Sam's car. It was shot up, bumper to bumper, windows shattered. Dejaneer was behind the wheel. He thought one of those shots hit him.
It was a bullet right on my passenger side.
In the console?
Yes.
Right there?
Right there.
It happened at 10:15 last Saturday night in the southbound lanes of the Southfield Freeway near Joy Road. He shot this video before the gunshots of what he was seeing. People on the highway yelling, attempting to shut down the freeway. When a woman jumped on his car and then a man standing in the middle of the freeway opened fire on him.
Did he say anything to you?
No, he just reached for the weapon and started firing.
MSP says members of a motorcycle club were trying to stop traffic themselves after a member crashed. MSP got calls of multiple people with guns on the freeway. And 51-year-old Gino Grimes of Melvindale is now charged with opening fire on Dejaneer, apparently angry that he was trying to drive past their situation.
I'm the only one, I'm the only target.
Dejaneer's dad,
I've been proud of him from the first day I seen lay eyes on him.
Says his son, shot at 8 times, is causing them so much pain.
Just starting his life and almost gone from a blink of an eye over something that he has nothing to do with or control.
Let's talk about the charges now on Gino Grimes, who is out there on the highway, according to MSP. Charges approved. He's already been arraigned. Assault with intent to murder, assault to do great bodily harm, less than murder, 3 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon, 3 counts of felony weapons, firearm charges. MSP pointing out that someone laid their bike down, so no one was injured here. They also point out they do not believe that race played a factor in any of this. Dejaneer's dad seriously questioning that tonight because Dejaneer was on the freeway, could clearly be seen by the gunman, and the gunman just opened fire at point-blank range. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4 Defenders.
Wow, extraordinary stuff. All right, Sean.
President Trump announces federal officers are headed to Detroit as part of a plan to cut down on violent crime. Agents will be heading to Detroit in the next 3 weeks as the president sends more federal agents to U.S. cities. This is in addition to a partnership the Justice Department announced last year to give more federal resources to cities fighting violent crime, including Detroit. We asked Governor Whitmer for a response. Her office directed us to a statement from earlier this week saying there's no reason to send federal troops to Detroit. And this all raises the question, could Detroit use the help? We've seen high-profile incidents of gun violence during a time where DPD is also dedicating its resources to protests. Larry Sproul joins us live with some perspective on how thinly stretched the department is right now. Larry, good evening.
Good evening, Kimberly. Detroit police officers have been busy over the last couple of months. We're talking about COVID, protests, and now a string of violence. I spoke with Chief Craig. He tells me his officers are handling everything, but he has to be honest. It's a lot.
8 weeks, Larry. 8 whole weeks
of nightly protests against police brutality. And now Detroit is having 2 protests a day, 1 in the morning for public school-related issues as well.
We manage protests every single day. And as you pointed out, Larry, morning and evening. Where are these resources coming from?
Detroit Police Chief James Craig tells me that's the million-dollar question.
We dedicate a number of resources to make sure that the protesters, for the most part, peaceful protests, are safe and they're allowed to consume our city streets. I don't have resources tucked away. I'm talking about police staffing so that they're just used solely for protests. No, they come out of the neighborhood police stations.
Chief Craig, is this having the adequate resources to mandate these protests and the crime that's going on here in Detroit, is that stretching your resources? Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, we're stretched. I would be remiss if I would sit here and say that this is no big deal.
But Craig tells me, stretched or not, his officers are taking care of business.
Yes, we are still handling criminal incidents, activity, call for service in the various neighborhoods throughout the city of Detroit. But what if we didn't have to deploy the numbers of resources to manage a protest?
And Chief Craig tells me that he respects the right for a peaceful protest, and he says his officers will be there at every protest to make sure that everyone is safe. We're live at DPD headquarters tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Okay, Larry, thanks.
2 travelers were removed from a Delta flight today because they refused to wear masks. The airline tells us it happened on a flight leaving Detroit bound for Atlanta. Plane had to return to the gate when the customers refused to listen to the crew. After a short delay, the plane did take off for Atlanta. Delta, though, requires all passengers to wear a mask for the duration of the flight. Now, at his daily coronavirus briefing, President Trump announced he is canceling the Jacksonville portion of the Republican National Convention due to coronavirus.
So the delegates are going to North Carolina, and they'll be doing the nomination. And we're going to do some other things with tele-rallies and online the week that we're discussing, which will be really good. I think we're going to do it well. And I'll still do a convention speech in a different form, but we won't do a big, crowded convention per se. It's just not the right time for that.
Yeah, so still a lot more to learn about exactly how this is going to go forward. Much more on the briefing from NBC Nightly News coming up right here at 6:30. Now, coronavirus numbers from the state took a jump today. Michigan reporting 699 new cases of COVID-19. 7 more people have died in our state due to the virus. State Senator Pete Lucito's bill, which would prevent COVID-positive patients from being transferred to nursing homes, has passed the House. It now goes to the governor.
And COVID-19 deaths, some think they're overcounted, others think they're undercounted. Dr. Frank McGeorge talked with the director of the Communicable Disease Division at the state to find out what counts as a death and why. Doc?
Well, you know, Kim, you would think counting deaths from COVID-19 would be fairly straightforward, but there are several people, particularly on social media, that have questions about the deaths that are added to the count after the state does what it calls a review of death records. In fact, there are actually 3 ways a death can be counted as a COVID death in Michigan.
The first way is through a local health department identifying the death during their case follow-up.
But that's just one path, says Jim Collins from the Communicable Disease Unit.
The second way is where we look at vital records for in our vital records for indications from physicians of COVID-19 as being a contributing cause to the death of a person. And the third way is we take the COVID-19 cases that are referred to the MDSS, we take that entire list for the past 30 days and bounce that up against the vital records data to see if any of the cases in our disease surveillance system have died in the past 30 days from natural causes. We would rule out accidental deaths or intentional deaths.
So, if someone is COVID positive and dies in a car accident, they do not count as a COVID death. But if they have cancer?
If they have cancer and they die within 30 days of their COVID-19 diagnosis, they would be counted as a COVID-19 associated death. And the reason is that cancer patients in particular are incredibly vulnerable to these infections.
Collins says he and his team know how important this data is.
We're scientists. We're not politicians. We weren't, none of us were appointed. We were hired and we worked in these jobs for years. And the reason we do it is because we believe in public health. And we wouldn't do it if we didn't.
So the bottom line is that they are doing the best they can to get an accurate representation of deaths. He actually added that there are probably many cases that are not counted because they pass away at home but never have COVID testing, and it's not recorded on their death certificates. Back to you.
Interesting. Okay. Thanks, Dr. McGeorge.
A lot of people right now, of course, hurting financially, and with debate raging over the next possible stimulus, good time to look at your finances. That means starting some important conversations with everyone from your landlord to your cell phone provider. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester sought out some expert advice. Hank?
The clock is ticking. Unemployment may be expiring for many of you, and the debate is going on in Washington right now regarding the next possible stimulus package. So what can you do right now to protect your money? I have expert advice. Money. It is tight for many of you right now, and with so much uncertainty about the next possible stimulus package and with unemployment about to expire for many in Michigan, it's time to have some real conversations. Let's begin with your landlord.
Communication is absolutely imperative.
Melanie Ducanel is with the Better Business Bureau of Southeastern Michigan.
Tell them where you're at. Tell them that you're, maybe able to pay a portion of your rent. That's good faith.
When it comes to utilities, DTE, consumers, etc., help is available. Again, communication is key here.
Give them the heads up that you are unemployed and you're unable to, and give them a sense of what your situation is.
Some credit card companies are waiving late fees, cell phone providers offering reduced rates or putting accounts on hold, and many debt consolidation companies offering help. However, beware. Some new companies are popping up online, and the details hidden in the fine print could cost you big time in the future.
You want to make sure that they have the understanding, the experience, and they have the relationships with those creditors that a brand new debt collection company is not going to have.
I have much more information from our experts and also other COVID-19 related financial news you need to be aware of, and I've posted it all on the Help Me Hank page at clickondetroit.com. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank.
All right, Hank. Well, it's been a very mid-July day out there, Ben.
Yeah, Kim and Devin, we are getting a little bit of a break from the humidity, but unfortunately, we're also getting a break from the rain, and we need it. Moderate drought has been declared in parts of southeast Michigan. We'll show you where coming up.
It's a summer camp program designed to help those who have been affected by violence in the city.
So we do let them know that having just at least one support system can help with building that resilience.
If you know someone who has lost someone recently, you're not going to want to miss.